And we are wrestling with WWE Extreme Rules. It's tomorrow. And if you're smart, how should you listen to it, Scooter?
Only on the new and improved remix, part of the new UNB Live lineup.
Alright, and let's get into it. First and foremost, before we go over the matches, there's not, this is Extreme Rules paid preview. There's not one Extreme Rules match on the card.
Thank you. I was about to say that. Like, what the fuck? I know I've been out of TV, but I'm like, where the fuck's the Extreme Rules?
I think this is safe for work rules.
Like, I ain't trying to get COVID and blood rules.
I mean, well, when NXT is relaxing more rules than extreme rules, that's a problem.
Very true.
True.
I
True,
mean,
true,
we
true.
could see some stipulations added the night of, but what is the point of having a pay preview called Extreme Rules if there's not going to be any Extreme Rules matches?
ECW fans?
Um,
I mean, why is everybody dying?
I mean, it might be implied that the matches are extreme rules to begin with. I don't know.
So every match is Extreme Rules?
You know what I wish they would have done is like Russian roulette the Extreme Rules.
Ooh, that would have been interesting.
Spin the wheel, make the deal, kind of thing.
Bingo! Hell yeah, that would have been dope.
Like that would have been pretty cool. That brings
But
us.
that's too much like sense.
That brings us to our first match: Liv Morgan versus Carmella. It doesn't matter who wins because we lose. Scooter.
Damn.
Corey Graves, since he won't be getting any. Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if this ends up getting pushed to pre-show. Carmella.
Kaliko.
Remember when they did that documentary on Liv and it seemed like that they were just gonna go places with it?
I don't.
What? You don't remember the WWE documentary You Live Only Once? What?
No, I don't.
Holy shit! Am I the only one that watched that?
No, you only live once.
You only live once. It was just like it seemed like they had a direction with her, and then they got rid of her Ace Boon Coon, which kind of fucked that up. So she's been floating ever since. So I'm gonna go with Carmella just due to the fact that they don't know what the fuck to do with her.
I don't necessarily know what they're doing with her, but when they had that whole every girl comes out to challenge Becky Lynch segment after SummerSlam, Liv got a pop. So people are getting behind her now. Oh. So maybe this is kind of what you were saying, Kaliko. Kind of give her maybe that push that she should have got when that documentary came out.
True, but I also remember that they gave that put that everybody was behind Oscar like a motherfucker, and yeah, how long did that take?
True.
And you know what I learned? That there is a trans wrestler in Japan named Asuka.
That is very true.
Really?
Yeah.
The more you know. Holy shit.
SmackDown Tag Team Championship match: the Usos versus the Street Profits. Who wins, Scooter?
Well, considering that it looks like the Alpha Academy are going to be getting involved with the Usos, I wouldn't be surprised if the Street Profits win by a DQ.
At Extreme Rules.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Yep.
What about you, Kaliko?
My mind's telling me Usos. But my body is telling me the Profits. But I don't see the bloodline going anywhere. So we will stick with the Usos.
By the way, yes, there is one. There is one Extreme Rules match, and two, there's another Extreme Rules match by default.
Is that
Is it the Demon?
Yes, and
Bam.
the other one would be the Triple Threat,
which is the United States Championship
The
match
championship match.
between Damian Priest, Sheamus, and Jeff Hardy? Who wins, Scooter?
Holy shit.
Karrion Kross wins because he proposed to Scarlett and she said yes. That's who wins.
That
is a win.
He won.
Oh, that's a win.
I mean, he's bigger than Roman Reigns at this point.
For the wrong reasons.
Yeah, Priest to retain.
What say you, Kaliko?
Not only Priest to retain, Hardy takes the pin.
Ooh. Yeah, I go with Priest as well. Raw Women's Championship match: Charlotte Flair versus Alexa Bliss. The real question here: will anybody actually see Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair? Because everybody will leave during the Charlotte and Alexa Bliss match.
I don't think so. I don't think people leaving during that match.
No.
I'm just trolling Dave Meltzer.
Fuck Dave Meltzer. I'm tired. Yeah, that's another thing. Fuck Dave Meltzer. let me stop. Let me stop. I'm on my yak.
Hey, that's Bruce Pritchard's gimmick. Fuck Bruce Pritchard. We'll fuck Yoshihashi on this podcast.
You know what? Fuck Dave Meltzer in his ass with a barbed wire dildo.
You know what? Fuck that dude. God damn. King. The gospel. Like, fuck out of here.
Who wants the match good?
They're gonna do something where, and I think they're gonna try and set Charlotte up to break the record. So I expect another Charlotte Flair title loss here.
What about you, Kaliko?
It's iffy because the only thing I don't like about it is the fact that the title match came out of nowhere.
Well, you could argue Alexa Bliss is one of the more harder talents in the women's division right now.
But you can make the argument that yes, I will say that she won a lot of matches, but beating Eva Marie is not really guarantee a title shot. Okay, that's numero.
And Randy fucking Orton.
So she beats a man and she gets a woman's title shot?
Well, Bobby Lashley didn't want to wrestle her. She's scary.
Nah, whatever. I think if there was some hokey shit, it would be this. But my only problem is it depends on how. I'm only gonna say Charlotte because of the simple fact Survivor Series. I expect Charlotte and Becky. which is a match that they've been fucking going for the last 2 years.
I can agree with that as well. I feel like Charlotte. I kind of feel
If
like
they're gonna go with that,
this whole paid
only if they
preview.
go with that format.
I'll get to this in a second, but I feel like this whole paid preview is kind of like a buy to kind of transition into the next paid preview, which I believe is Crown Jewel and Survivor Series. That kind of seems like, okay, well, we need to fill out September, so here's this paid preview, and this is what we need. But we're
In
gonna.
a sense, you can make that argument. You can, because I feel like Survivor, especially with tickets going on sale this week, and I got a problem with WWE hosting Survivor Series in the coldest fucking area in America. So yeah, that's a whole nother. Like, goddamn. But yeah, I
Isn't
can
it
see
in
your
New York?
point, James. Huh?
It's in Barclays, right?
Yeah, it's at Barclays in fucking November. Ain't nobody trying to go to fucking Barclays in November. Holy shit! Like, what the fuck? Or as Conrad would say, what's up with that?
SmackDown Women's Championship. Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair. Who wins for the?
Bianca DQ. Because Becky's on her Conor McGregor shit. It screams. And I kind of figured when the only way they could make her a heel is to do the Conor McGregor shit. But the problem is that I feel like more people would buy into that route instead of her being full heel, because she tried that full heel one time and we were like, man, fuck y'all. We riding with her. And I still feel like it's like that, but
Well, you mean
Becky all the way.
I mean we were both at SummerSlam, and well, I was from my position. It was Becky, yay, Becky's back. Yay, Becky's getting the title match. Oh, Becky won? Yay, Becky won. And
Yeah.
I didn't see like anybody in where I was standing, nobody in my section seemed to have a problem with Becky winning.
Oh, I can tell you who damn sure had problems with it. Every black WWE fan in the motherfucking universe had a problem with that shit. Because they do all this shit to make. First of all, I felt like after after her beating Bailey, and then she went with Carmella, and the whole Carmella thing, it just seemed like Bianca really didn't get a run with the title in a sense, because she only really had like two feuds when you think about it. It was Carmella and Bailey.
But I mean, who was she really
So
going to feud with? I mean,
that's
Sasha
that,
was
that's
MIA.
that's WWE's problem, because remember, Bianca was this was supposed to have been Banks Bianca too. So now that whole thing is that's a whole other issue. You see what I'm saying? So it it, it so SmackDown Women's title picture, it's really Bianca, Becky, Banks, and unfortunately, I have to say the rest are just happy to be in the running to get a title.
Well, I mean,
Not by their fault, but
right.
due to the way that they booked them.
I go back to the night after when Becky came on SmackDown. She got a loud ovation, and it kind of was like when Brock Lesnar beat the Streak. They were yay, yay, we love Becky. Then she mentioned she beat the Streak, and they were like boo, but yeah, we still yay you some. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you have to get the people to believe in it. And the problem is that it's not like Becky came back from injury. She came back from being a mother. And I think that her leaving wasn't because of an ACL tear. It was because she had You see what I'm saying? She left on positive terms because she was a mother. Then she comes back on positive terms because she had a healthy baby and she's still kicking. That that endorphin mix don't vibe well with a lot of people, unless you're the Bianca fan. The saw her get her ass whooped in 3 seconds.
What about you, Scooter? Who wins the match? Becky, Bianca.
I think Becky wins by choking Bianca out with the umbilical cord.
I would not put that past her.
I know. I kind of expect Becky to do something heinous, like pretend she's got the baby, like what the Miz did, and it turns out, oh, it's just a dumbbell and a sheet.
And then out of nowhere, oh my God, what is his name?
Seth?
No, fuck,
Oh, Maury Povich?
no, the guy that kicked the baby.
Oh, Snitsky!
Snitsky comes out of nowhere and punts the baby into Bianca and knocks her out.
It wasn't my fault. Kick the baby!
Oh, Lord.
But seriously, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna say Bianca gets it back.
Clinker made an
Bianca.
interesting point that Bianca wins by disqualification.
Yeah, honestly, that makes a lot more sense. And the question of whether or not, because it's clear that I think the Street Profits are moving to Raw, and if you move them, you got to move Bianca.
Exactly.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
And that's where, between that and I'm thinking Survivor Series, they're going to want the biggest matchups. And what's a bigger matchup than Becky and Charlotte, two of your most popular women?
God willing, they don't do SmackDown versus Raw, which they probably will.
They probably will. So that's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, and
I think in the promos it was already built that way. SmackDown versus Raw.
Yeah, but I'm also thinking that Bianca and Charlotte could be kind of fire.
Oh yeah, I'm not knocking that it could be fire, but considering if you believe in the fact that they care about what AEW does, why wouldn't they put their two most popular women in the basically Becky and Charlotte are literally two of the top 5 most popular women in wrestling. Why wouldn't they put them to dwarf a Soho Baker?
True.
Yeah, then since it looks like whoever's the champion coming out of this will probably have to contend with Naomi.
That's another person, man. If they don't fucking do something with that girl,
guess what? They're gonna do. They most likely it's gonna be Naomi is gonna be who brings Sonya out of retirement.
That sounds right. That sounds storyline wise right.
It does.
Before we
but
talk,
I feel like Sonya coming back as the heel. Yeah, because I feel like
Sonya's gonna be the heel, as evident on SmackDown last night.
I mean, I'm just thinking that. Oh, I was thinking that off the rip because I feel like Naomi's like the poor man's Becky, in the sense that she got a lot of motherfuckers behind her. It's just that WWE's not taking notice of those people who are behind her.
I mean, technically, Naomi at this point should be running with the bloodline.
You're not wrong about that.
You're not wrong. But then again, Naya should be running with the bloodline, but Naya ain't gonna be back anytime soon. But that's a whole nother different.
Well, wait a minute. What happened to Naya?
Elbow, she's out.
Yep.
Oh, she's out.
Out. She out.
I
She
did
she
not.
taking vacation.
Yep.
Get some vacation.
Yeah. She went from being the face breaker to the elbow breaker.
Yep.
That
Yeah, she
Nathan
gone,
Nation was
homie.
the face breaker.
Well, fine. The Becky breaker. I don't know.
Yeah, the Becky breaker. Yeah, she be Becky.
The breaker Becky Baker.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Before we
Beating up
talk
Becky with the good hair.
Before I talk about the main event, new WWE champion, Big E does not have a match on this card. That does not seem like a wise thing to have a brand new champion that probably has some momentum behind him, and he's not going to be on your next pay preview. Uh, am I just reading way too much into this, or do I have a point, Scooter?
You do have a point. And I also think a lot of this has to do with having as much talent available for Crown Jewel as possible.
Well, I mean, he's going to be here. He's not like, spontaneously combusting between now and Crown Jewel.
I know, but you, be honest,
But I can't.
we don't know what's required of traveling into Saudi Arabia.
But I know the argument. I know the argument against putting Big E on that against Bobby Lashley.
And that being?
Because Bobby Lashley, it would look weird. Because Bobby Lashley lost the 2 weeks ago to Big E, right?
Yeah.
Then he lost a week ago in the Triple Threat, and to have him lose again, you see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Plus,
three times in like 14 days would be like crazy.
Plus MVP is out.
Yeah, and MVP's out. So that's where I think, like, let's say if Lashley had won the Triple Threat, pinning Big E, you can make the argument that they should be fighting at Extreme Rules for the title. But the fact that he took the pin, kind of, if he goes for the rematch at Extreme Rules, you're not going to have him lose, or you're not going to have him beat a brand new champion.
Right.
So that's where that's where the rubber meets the road for me. So I see why they did it. If you're going to have him lose, extend it to Crown Jewel and then set up the New Day Bloodline for Survivor Series.
Well, what are your thoughts on having an impromptu match at Extreme Rules where he just challenges somebody to come face him for the championship?
I still wouldn't see it that way because here's how I put it. Oh, me and you talked about, I think all three of us talked about this, about Big E cashing in on Lashley and winning the belt, right?
Yeah.
Because this was the first, and we all agreed that would have made the most fucking sense. So it doesn't surprise any of us that it happened.
Right.
But by doing that, by proxy of Big E doing that, you reunited the New Day. So you have this hella big faction that is been running roughshod, which is the Bloodline, going against a newly minted group that never really broke up. They just like
kind of went their separate ways for a little while.
And not even with their separate ways. It was just like they were forced to be apart. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's where that comes in. So I don't see Big E coming out doing a challenge unless MVP pops up out of nowhere. But I don't see that happening because they never really set anyone up for Big E to even have that with, right?
Right.
Because
Well,
it points to him beating Lashley. Then after Lashley, they're going straight to the bloodline for SmackDown versus Raw.
Okay. Here's an interesting scenario that could evoke some maybe just a one-off for the night. What if they run back the history of the first and second NXT champions?
Seth
So
and Big E. But I mean, then that kind of you
would imply that Seth is getting drafted to Raw.
and you. It's not even that because it's a tri-brand paid preview. But Seth
No,
is in
that
a major
no
thing
try.
with Edge right now, and it kind of seems not right to job him out to Big E at this point.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, yeah, I'm just trying to think of ways
Maybe
for.
Apollo Crews. I
Yeah,
mean,
but then again, Xavier can be in a segment all of his own, and you know what they're gonna do something. You know what? I mean, maybe even like maybe they'll bring back the New Day ice cream bicycle and just give Big E the celebration.
that might be something. And that brings us to the main event: Roman Reigns versus the Demon Finn Balor, and an Extreme Rules on the Extreme Rules paid preview. Who wins, Scooter?
Oh, extreme rules, extreme rules. Um, Gee, I wonder. Let me think about this. This is such a mystery. Oh man, it's so hard to choose Roman.
Kaliko.
Clearly.
It has to be Roman, right? Because the story is Brock, Paul, Roman. So
Well,
Roman.
well, the fact is, Brock and Roman's happening regardless of the title. So
True, but I think the title would make it more interesting.
I don't
Because
know.
Brock don't fight for title. Brock don't fight for free in the WWE. He fights for chips, homie.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
very true.
did the title make Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez any more interesting?
It didn't make the match interesting at all.
Exactly.
but
What I kind of see Kaliko's point. It doesn't. The storylines between Roman, Paul, Heyman, and Brock Lesnar, whether there's a championship between all of them, really doesn't matter. But do you see the possibility of Brock Lesnar costing Roman Reigns the match and the Demon wins the title?
if they didn't do that 6-man tag on Raw with New Day and Bloodline, I could have saw it. But the fact that they did that screams that they want Big E to be on the same stage with Roman, the same way that Drew was on the big stage with Roman.
But you can say, but I could make the argument that Roman was on the big stage with Drew when that match happened.
Oh fuck no, man! You tripping?
Mm,
Roman was only like 3 months into the tribal chief gimmick. So he
yeah,
wasn't. He was still not proven at that point. It was still a proof of concept.
I mean,
You knew
McIntyre was
damn
the
well, but
champion. Was the
yeah,
champion
but
coming in, from
Yeah,
But
maybe.
WrestleMania.
McIntyre was the champion that just got the belt back. It wasn't like he was
Okay, that's also true. So,
like he just got the belt back. It wasn't like he
but then
was
again,
running roughshod the whole time.
in recent years, the WWE has a very odd habit of changing champions right before Survivor Series.
And that's my point.
That's very
Like
true.
I, I if there were ever a champion to get changed, I would say RK Bro.
No, it's
But
either
they're
the W.
over as fuck. Or the Usos. Or that's the only belt I
No,
see changing.
no, I'm talking about the main champions.
Ooh.
It's happened like I think like 4 out of the past 5 years.
So I'm trying to
AJ
think.
Styles went over Jinder Mahal. Daniel Bryan went over AJ
AJ
Styles.
Styles,
Uh,
Drew went over Randy.
Orton, but that was a feud, so you kind of saw that coming.
yeah, but the years prior to that just didn't make sense, and it just
I,
see. So it kind of seems like Big E's number is coming up in November. Is what we're
I
saying
don't
here.
see I don't see that shit happening. I just don't. Why would I mean? You know what? Considering that Nikki Ash won the belt and lost it 3 weeks later, I could the shit could happen,
Yeah,
but I don't see the most consistent group that they've had ever losing and then not having those three go against the bloodline one more again.
Well, I
yeah,
mean, they still can. He just won't have the championship.
But
but
the whole point is that he's the champion. Because you wouldn't have believed Kofi Kingston if he was the fucking man.
see, I this is leading me more to believe that Survivor Series, the fight, there's not going to be a champion versus champion. The champions are going to lead the 5-on-5.
And that would make, I mean, the bloodline Roman pick two versus the
Well,
New
no,
Day
the new no. The
pick two.
Usos would be wrestling. Who's the Raw? The Usos would be wrestling RK Bro.
Who? Oh, yeah, the Usos will be with RK Bro. So that's why I'm thinking Big E would be with Roman with the New Day in his corner. Because the New Day really don't need the match. The New Day's going to be New Day no matter what.
True.
So I think that's why I think like Roman would get the win over Big E at Survivor Series, but Big E gets the fucking showing the same way Daniel Bryan got the showing against fucking Brock Lesnar.
Well, let's talk about this match right now. Roman and Finn
I
Balor.
know we're going down the rabbit hole,
Yeah.
down the rabbit hole.
Uh, you know, are they just dropping Finn Balor out at this point? I don't think that he's going to beat Roman, but just the only doubt I'm having is if Brock crosses him the match.
It could happen in the sense that Roman is costed the match and he gets the belt back immediately, but
What's
then that would just tell you why the hell would you even do that in the first place, right?
And
to protect the
one
demon character?
also, I mean, let's not forget that in Finn's first night on Raw, he beat Roman cleanly. He's one of the few superstars that can boast that.
But that was Finn as Finn, not Finn as the demon.
But I believe the true indicator of any potential title change would have shown in the color scheme on Balor's face paint. When it shouldn't have been red and black. It should have been blue.
Hmm.
And I mean, he was red and black even when he was on black and gold. So
Yes, but the idea of the idea of the red again that brings up Bray Wyatt, and if he in the if it's the Fiend, at least if they did it with the blue, it's at least they can take that incarnation of Finn Balor as the Demon in a different direction, even following that loss.
well, that brings us to another question: could somebody cost Finn Balor this match?
Ooh,
Good question. I mean,
Happy Corbin? Like what the?
my first
Fucker
two picks would have
Corbin
been Bray
match.
Wyatt
Well,
or Malachi Black, but there are no shows anymore. So
um, Carrion.
oh, that's a possibility. I like that
Ooh,
possibility.
but Carrion seems so raw. Like pun
There's
intended.
a draft in like a week.
That
Not
is true. But Carrion versus the Demon? I mean, if they put Carrion over the Demon, see, we're going down a rabbit hole. Okay, so
How about Dexter Loomis?
Well, he's on his honeymoon, so that's not going to work.
yeah, he's on the honeymoon after speaking his first words in like forever,
That's all. Yeah.
ever.
I mean that
So
man. I mean we all have access to God, but his is ridiculous. No,
All right. I think we went down this rabbit hole as far as we could. We're in China now. Um, I think we'll conclude for now. Things will be more clearer, or they'll be more confusing in a week time when we review Extreme
no.
Rules.
Uh, and just to say a little bit of trivia here, the Index wedding is the first successful wedding in 30 years on WWE television.
well,
So,
hot damn. Wait a minute.
Savage
You
and
mean
Miss Elizabeth?
Sat, yep,
wait a minute? The Teddy Long wasn't successful.
He got a heart attack.
I thought Teddy Long and Charbel.
Crystal, not Charmel.
Crystal, you know what the hell I meant. Sounds bad me being black saying they all look alike, but
Thank God, because I wasn't about to say that.
But actually, Vicky Guerrero got married.
Yeah, but do you really?
to Edge, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but do you? Yeah, do you? Heel weddings don't count
Oh, so we're
because
only talking
Face wedding.
face
Yeah,
wedding.
face wedding.
Okay.
because yeah, they're done as a serious, like, with absolutely no intention of like actual breaking up. So yes, I am. I don't care. I'm fight you to the death on it. Index is the first successful WWE wedding in 30 years.
And
I
Scooter,
mean, in the first successful after party, because goddamn.
and Scooter, how should people listen to Extreme Rules tomorrow?
Well, hopefully not on the toilet, but you should listen to it clearly on the remix only on USB Live.
And that'll conclude our coverage of WWE Extreme Rules. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, vote on YouTube and Castbox. Join me this Wednesday as I interviewed Rob Killjoy of the Ugly Ducklings.
You were about to say Brock. Brock.
No. Um, Of course, this was sponsored by Rogue Energy. Use promo code Wrestling with E for 10% off your next purchase. You can follow the show at Wrestling with E both on Twitter and Instagram for all your wrestling with entertainment needs. You can follow us individually as well. I am at JamesJ993. Where can they find Kaliko?
Well, you can find me in a hazmat suit from A, people licking walls, and B, touching Tammy Lynn Sedge at I am Kalika.
And where can they find Scooter?
They can find me wondering why I don't remember eating any corn. And you can find me on Twitter at Scooter Dust. And of course, James and I on the remix tomorrow night for Extreme Rules. And of course, me along with Rico Constantino Jr. and the rest of the Smoking Dragons clan. Twitch.tv/Smoking Dragons.
And for Caligula, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Walkers.
Entertainment.
I'm a fat
Reunited,
Yeah.
and it feels so good. Reunited, cause we understood.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.